It's supposed to feel.
All right, what's going on, beautiful people? It's the Pirates Postgame Show. I'm Tyler. With me is Doug. Happy Labor Day, Doug. Pirates win 4-2.
Yeah, it was a good game. Well played game. Ortiz wasn't great, but he was good enough. And, Sawinski and Brian Hayes got it done.
Yeah, I guess we'll just start early in the game. I believe it was second, third inning. I can't remember exactly. Gifted Alfonso Rivas 2 bags. Actually, he gets the third basically on a play he should never get the third on.
Right.
A wild pitch.
He should have been thrown out.
An error. Should have been thrown out at first.
Twice, right?
No outs. Pirates get to the top of the order there. Not able to do anything to move him. Yeah, Bay up, Hayes, Reynolds. Strand Rivas at third, and that's when I was thinking this one might be a bad one.
Yeah, I was concerned. I was concerned as soon as they gave up 2 runs to Burns. I mean, he's dominated this lineup all year long. I think he had pitched 13 in third innings or something, giving up 3 hits. I'm like, oh no, we might be able to scratch a run here. And, didn't have a lot of confidence that Ortiz would settle down after giving up the 2 because he never looked sharp. There was no point in this game that he looked sharp. But surprisingly, and we did it with home runs and and he did. Ortiz did settle down enough. I listened to Jim and Donardo this morning on Starbucks, and they were talking about we only have 2 starters and 3 TBAs. And Ortiz in his last 2 outings has pitched well enough, I think, to at least be a starter the rest of this season. You
almost have to.
And right, it comes down to what else are you going to do? But yeah, I say, don't give him over. Let him start. Let's see what he can do. He's been called out, right? All the Pirate Nation now knows that apparently he wasn't working very hard. It wasn't very committed. And so I don't know if they're trying to light a fire because they don't ever let anything like that, out usually. So maybe it will, maybe it has. And maybe he could get back to the form that we saw late last year.
Yeah, let's talk about a start a little bit here. First inning, real clean. I thought he looked good early. The fastball command was there. Second inning, just 3 batters. It just got away from him. Hits a batter. I think he walked 1 or 2 there. Just command was very spotty in that situation. And then all of a sudden, he got it back.
Right. It was 5 straight at bats without a hit.
Right.
It's walk, hit, batter, walk, sacrifice, fly. So at that point, you start to feel a little better. It's like, all right. Outs are outs. We'll take them.
Right. Yeah, and that's a big spot there. The sacrifice flies, you give up 2 runs. It hurts, but he didn't let it snowball. So I think all in all, it was a pretty decent outing by Ortiz. Nothing to write home about. He was up to about 97. It looked like he had some good run on the fastball. The changeup showed a little bit of potential out there. I thought he looked okay.
Yeah, he reared back and threw it, and like I said, got up to 97 a couple of times. Ultimately, in the end, it's a quality start, right? 6 innings, 2 runs. And then the bullpen was outstanding, really.
Yeah. And the big thing is he didn't walk. He didn't let the walks really get to him because he was at 3 walks real early. He really did shut it down. The command came back together.
Yeah, he did not implode, which we tend to see that from our young pitchers quite a bit. So yeah, he lost it there for a little bit, got it back, and finished strong.
Yeah, happy to see that from him, especially against the Brewers lineup.
Yes.
He has. We talk about it with a lot of these guys. He's one of them that you really need to see him finish this year strong.
Right. He's a guy. Yeah, we were counting on him all year, and it was a little foolish, it was
Probably.
3 good starts at the end of last year in September. I mean, comes out of nowhere. So it's nice to see that he's sort of bouncing back. I don't put a lot of stock in September baseball. Even now that, the roster expansion is only 2 players, it's still, some people are out of it. Some are, it's just a weird thing. It's the end of a long grind. But, that being said, it's like Steelers preseason football. I'd rather watch them win and say it means nothing than watch them lose and say it means nothing. So maybe September baseball doesn't mean anything, but if he can, get 3 or 4 more good starts in, I'll feel better than if he, just continues to give up 11 runs in 5.
Yeah. And the other good part of this kind of win is that it's a Luis Ortiz start who you count on next year. It is a home run by Corbin Hayes, who you're definitely counting on next year.
Right.
And Jack Sawinski comes up in a big spot for the first time in his life, hits a 2-run homer early to tie the game. He's another guy that's going
Off
to
a
be
good
here
pitcher.
one way or the other next year.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see them go outside and get a center fielder. My guess is that we are going to see G1 Bay and Jack Sawinski playing center field next year. That's not the kind of move the Pirates make. Henry Davis is going to be your right fielder, Brian Reynolds is going to be your left fielder, and it's going to be Jack. It'd be great if Jack Sawinski could be the kind of guy that just hit 5 home runs every month and, did not hit 5 in a week and then go 100 at bats without hitting another. It'd be again, that was nice to see. Again, it was an important time in the game. We're down 2-0. It was against a very good pitcher. A lot of that early success was against Colorado and Washington, when they were both playing better lately, but at that point they were playing awful, and it was against terrible pitchers. So, this is a former Cy Young, a guy that has just shut this lineup down. So, yeah, I'm not ready to pencil him in for MVP votes or anything next year, but I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, I guess it's good to see him kind of get out of the major slump he was in. Right. This might be the start of another one of them Jack Sawinski hot weeks.
That'd be nice. This would be a good time to do it. Milwaukee and Atlanta, right?
Yeah. And another guy you want to see at least finish the year on not a terrible note. So, and then Corbin Hayes, man.
It's funny because in the early part of this game, I was about to go back and look at the St. Louis box scores because he sort of, he was great against Kansas City, cooled off a little, and I was about to say, oh no, here we go again, right? And then home run, triple, spectacular catch, in foul territory. It's getting harder and harder to just, poo-poo, and dismiss what he's doing. I want to see it again for a whole season. It would just be great. But and I know Jim will say it's been since June 1st, but, he missed a lot of games there in June and July. But it's getting harder and harder to deny. I've been a non-believer because we've seen stretches from him before, but this is not a week. It's not 2 weeks. It's, we're getting into more than a month, more than a solid month of, playing, without injury interruption or any of that. Give him the Gold Glove, give him the Platinum Glove, and, pencil him in for a little higher than the lineup than I ever thought he might be batting.
Yeah, the things he's doing right now, this is what you dreamed of Corbin Hayes doing. And I'm with you. I was thinking about the St. Louis series. Are we going back to the Corbin Hayes that we saw? Because we were starting to see some of them weak grounders come back. Wasn't really hitting the ball with authority. And then today comes out of his shell. So good to see it only maybe being like a 3-game stretch of not being very good. We didn't see the strikeouts really go through the roof, which is encouring.
Right. Exactly.
And that, like you keep bringing up, this is against a really good pitcher.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. He drove both of those. What's he got? 15 home runs? Is it 13 or 15 now? What?
He is at 12.
12.
Yeah.
No, it's at least 13.
Do you have it over?
No, I don't. I just thought it was better than that.
Yeah. Well, like you said, he missed a lot of time. But also, like Jim said, he's really been good since July
It's
1st.
12. You're right. It's 12. Yeah. And it's been
just
solid. It's been
unfortunate he
pretty
missed that much
consistent.
time.
I mean, everybody has a bad series, or not even. I wouldn't call it a bad series, but everybody, the best players in the world, cool off for a week or 2 weeks, whatever. It's fine. Again, we're Pirates fans,
whatever,
so
Jim.
we June 1st. How many games did he miss in June and July, Jim?
A lot.
But it's encouraging. I think as far as I'm ready to go at this point, but he looks good. He's driving the ball, and I know we said, I mean, my God, more than we said, are you intrigued, or I am intrigued? We said, if Hayes could only be an average major league hitter, I want more than that, right? I mean, it's there.
Well, now I do.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, we've got average major league hitter.
My bar has raised here.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that's the most encouraging part, is that now that we're not hoping that he comes out and gives us a 723 OPS. We want 850 now. And it's there. He's got the skill. He's got the talent. Yes, I am getting greedy. I want more. He is a cornerstone. He is a foundational piece for this team. He's signed. We don't have to worry about him leaving anytime soon. So yeah, let's get the best out of him. Let's make that contract look like the steal of the century. Let's be worried that Hayes is going to want to renegotiate because he's doing so well.
The other thing, these aren't cheapy home runs either. That one today, 109 miles an hour off the bat.
Right.
He's murdering the baseball.
Yeah.
And that's a curveball that's in on the plate that I don't think he ever gets to in April or May.
Yeah. I mean, I never saw this. I mean, even in some of those little hot streaks, he did not drive the ball like this. He went the way, he even, like I said, during some of his better streaks, he wasn't hitting home runs. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of singles and, doubles the other way. And I mean, that thing straight away to center field, and then off the Clement. I mean, he did the two hardest parts of the cycle today, and he started a little earlier.
Yeah. I mean, to go back to with Rivas on third, and you have Hayes coming up he comes up with one out there. Doesn't do a job.
Right.
That's where the thoughts really start creeping in.
That was the same.
Come on,
man.
I'm
like, wait a minute.
We're not going back to this.
Here we go. Right. I told you not to believe until we've seen.
I got to jump on this postgame show with Doug. He's going to tell me I'm stupid for believing.
But I was ready. Now I feel stupid. I believe. I'm intrigued.
No, you're not allowed
officially
to believe now.
Intrigued. I'm intrigued. I don't believe yet. Yeah, but I am intrigued.
Anywho, I was reading comments there. Sorry.
Yeah, I get caught up in that too.
The bullpen comes in. Majinski, for the most part, he's a guy just intrigued with, right? I'm not over the moon about him. I don't think he hasn't been as good as I think he was early on. I don't know where I'm at with him. It's tough to come up with words for him.
I'm with you, but he's a rookie, right? He's a rookie.
Stuff, but he just gets hit so hard.
Yeah, he does. But I mean, I think it's safe to say that we could expect to see some improvement. These are his first, go round in the major leagues, and he's acquitted himself pretty decently. He's had moments, and he's had moments where he's looked fantastic. He has moments where but he has never just completely, imploded or something. He looks, the moment doesn't look too big for him.
Yeah, he misses bats.
Right at this point, him and Holderman split in the 7th, 8th innings. I'm not completely, adverse to that. I do. I think I think he could get better.
I do too. He does his stuff plays. He misses bats, but when he gets hit, he just gets hit so darn hard.
Yeah, it's not weak contact, right? One of our favorite excuses.
Yeah, I mean he gets hit pretty hard. Intrigued by his stuff, but like we always say, every team in Major League Baseball has a bunch of Corbin Majinskis.
Yeah,
he's a guy you have to have.
You're right, right. He is necessary in the bullpen. It's better than Embry, right? So I mean, Chase DeYoung, some of these Zastryzny. Now that I can pronounce it, of course, he's gone. But I again, the word intrigue, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, he only gives up a hit today. He does walk a batter. It just seems like he's in trouble a little bit too often. Either way, does a job tonight, and then
right. It's similar to what Holderman was doing, making you really nervous, but
right.
still kind of getting it done. So,
but Holderman tonight, he looked different.
Yeah,
he looked unhittable tonight.
Yeah, boy, if we can get that guy, if we get a lot of that guy, if we get a lot of that guy, people are going to talk about trading the guy that pitched after him, right?
Yeah, Holderman, I think tonight looked about as good as I've seen him ever look.
Yeah, I that's the best I've seen him. It just looked glaringly different than what he normally does, and he's been pretty effective. But my goodness, he was just throwing smoke. He looked, like you said, he looked unhittable. He looked unfair.
Yeah, and he's a guy that can do that. The stuff is so good that he can look like a completely lights out pitcher. But he's just so lanky, and it's so hard to repeat what he does that's probably going to hold him back from being extremely consistent. I mean, all things considered, though, he's been really good all year. Yeah. It's just maybe hasn't been as calm as we would like.
Right. But I mean, dear Lord, given what we've put in the last couple of years, I'll take a little drama if the results are so positive. I mean, again, I'd like nicer, cleaner. Back in the days of Melanson and Grilly, that sort of stuff. But this GM doesn't really either value the bullpen or is able to put them together as well as his predecessor. But Holderman, if he can pitch like he did tonight, and again, this is his first full year, and he's had some injury, so maybe there's something there. I mean, there's definitely something.
There's something there.
There's definitely something, but maybe there's something great there is, I guess, what I'm trying to say. He could, I mean, my goodness, if he pitched like that tonight, he's an all-star, and we're very tough after this, 6th, 7th inning. Yeah.
All things considered, you can do a lot worse than Colin Holderman in the 8th inning.
Absolutely.
He's put together a really good year, down to a 2.94 ERA on the season. He's been really good result-wise all year. He gets you to Bednar more often than not. And speaking of Bednar, good to see him have a clean inning because I think he's been a little bit shaky lately.
Yeah. I mean, he gave up some hard contact today, but
it was clean.
You're right. It was a clean inning. Let me click up there, Mark. Right. I mean, it would be nice. It would be nice to see if David Bednar would embark on an off-season fitness program. Hard to tell guys that are having his kind of success that they need to change something, but I do think he wears down a little. And I'd like to mention this. I was thinking about this in today's game. Rivas made a couple nice plays over first base. We've had pretty good first base play this year.
Yeah.
And it's made a difference, right? And from last year to this year, I don't know. I haven't looked at the defensive run saved or any of that stuff, but Santana was excellent and could very well win the Gold Glove. Choi was fine. Connor Joe has been fine, and Rivas he can't hit. Dear Lord, he can't hit, but
he plays pretty good. He plays pretty good first base.
Right. He saved some. He was responsible for the outs today on some pretty rough throws, and he did it. He should get his flowers, occasionally. Because
no, you are right. He's very smooth over there at first base. He can't hit worth the lick. Mm-hmm. So future-wise, I don't see much with him, but it is, like you mentioned, it's nice to see some good first base play for once. Right. That isn't just a defensive replacement in the 7th inning. Then that's the only time we get good defense.
Rodriguez coming in late, right? I mean, it's been so long, and my old school would show, I really believe defense is important, and
Yeah.
and Ben Cherington does not, except for, where it involves Austin Hedges. So.
No, I think that's good to point out, though, about Rivas. He does play a pretty good first base. I wish we could see O'Neal Cruz on the field with him, but we can't always get what we want.
Right.
Well, I think that about wraps this one up here, Doug. It's Labor Day. Did you grill out at all?
No,
I didn't do a darn thing.
I didn't. Right.
I had a few too many last night, so I like to. I unwound a little bit.
I drove to Tennessee. I met a friend halfway in between. He's from Tennessee, and we had lunch at a whatever off the exit ramp. And that was the extent of my celebration. So
there you go. You did more than me. I had about $15.
That felt ambitious, really, because my plan was to not leave the house. But
yeah, I had about $15 worth of Taco Bell. That was what I did.
Nice.
And also, Jim wants to mention that he had the new Chick-fil-A honey pepper pimento sandwich, and it was amazing.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I'm not going to find out on my own.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right.
Pirates win it 4-2. We'll be back with you guys tomorrow. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.